Hi, and welcome to the Spirit of the Valley. In keeping with our recent trend toward nonprofit and interesting events going on, I want you to meet Charlie Tabor, who is involved with something that I've never heard of by definition before, but he will tell you. Charlie works at Eastman and is a big supporter of David's House, which is one of all of our favorites. And we'll find out more about what he's up to today. But Charlie, welcome. I'm really happy to have you here. I love what you're here for. I totally get it and believe in it. One of the first things I have to ask you is, it is called a loppet that you're here to talk about. First of all, I need you to define it for me.
Okay. A loppet is a gathering of skiers and snowshoers. It's a European term.
Yep.
Who will ski on predetermined or preset in either classic style, or skate style, or snowshoe, set distances.
Okay.
And at the conclusion of your ski or snowshoe, there is a gathering of everybody and with good food, music, live music.
Got that good food? That always catches them.
And it's basically a day of celebration and a party.
Wonderful.
For a cause.
Wonderful. Now, this is your second one?
This is our second year hosting the loppet.
Last year was pretty successful from what I gathered. Snow or no snow, you found ways. And tell me about that. That was fascinating.
Irregardless of the amount of snow, we were able to pull off the loppet. It was held at Eastman, but through the generosity of some other cross-country areas to the north of us, they were able to host skiers who wanted to go up and ski their kilometers that they had pledged to ski for the day. And so we were able to raise a fair amount of money for David's House in light of the fact that we were pretty much in a snowless winter last year.
Everyone that's watching this knows what last winter was all about, and there was hardly enough snow to even need a boot. But we do have some wonderful neighbors. I know they've done it for Dartmouth Carnival and other times Craftsbury, and they just step in and they get the point of what you're doing, and it's a wonderful cause, so they make their facilities available. I think it's remarkable and never ending, apparently. Yeah. This year, there's a chance of our having snow.
Well, this year we are up and operating,
and
we are very optimistic that we'll have substantial snow on the 16th of February.
Yeah, let's bring that up again. February 16th, hours?
It's an all-day event. You can get out and start your ski anytime between 9 a.m. and noon.
Great.
Because people are going to be skiing various distances. There's no need to be there at 9 o'clock if you're only skiing 5 kilometers.
And yet you don't want them starting so late that they're out in the dark.
And we don't want them starting too late so they can't get their accomplish their goal of the distance they want to ski.
And what are the distances?
We will have groomed for cross-country skiing, groom distances starting at 2.5 kilometers, very gentle beginner-type loop, up to pretty aggressive 15K loop.
Oh, yeah.
And you can ski any group of those distances as well, because some overlap, but some are separate courses.
Okay.
So you can do as many loops that you like and increase your distance.
So any you mentioned are good for the snowshoes or either kind of cross-country?
The longer loops are set up for cross-country.
Okay.
We have a separate area that only snowshoers will be able to go out to, and an area called the Heath Forest. And we have 2 loops of shorter distance, obviously for snow shoers, set up for that, a 2.5 and a 4.2K loop.
Nice. And they could always do more and go around again if they were crazy. Not crazy, passionate.
Right.
Well, I hope, I want to get more into it, but I'm certainly hoping that February 16th is a fabulous day and no rain and we've had luck so far. We've had snow actually and it was cold enough the week of New Year's that it kept it all in place. I mean, I was out at the sledding hill recently for hours, and it was pretty hard, but that was okay because it was keeping the snow in place. And we'll have more. We have to have more. Everyone deserves a better winter carnival and a better loppet and a better everything else because they got robbed last year a bit. I mean, some of the events, well, at Ockham, they didn't have everything going, and that kids noticed that. They missed it, and they still would go, but they all look forward to that every year. And now this is something new to look forward to. Ages, is there any limit? Or
there is no limit, and that's what we've designed this event for. It's a family event, and we hope that families will come out as well as individuals. We've been in contact with some ski teams.
Oh, good.
high school age ski teams.
That'd be fun for the younger kids
that
to
have
see
an
too.
opening to come out and support David's House, and hopefully we'll get some return
That would be
from that as
wonderful.
well. But we're looking for individuals who want to just get out and support David's House, and also families.
I think anything that's a family event is hugely successful around here because people do a lot with their families here. They do a lot of their sports and their, like on Prouty, and we were talking about
Correct.
Prouty earlier. You see the ages out on the roads and it's so cute. You can't believe it. And people in little tag-alongs. And this is the idea of getting, you don't want to leave them at home, you want them with you.
Right.
And they can all get a nice early introduction to all of these events. I mean, I've got the little snowshoers for my grandchildren and they're just, they're having a ball with them because they're manageable, they're their size.
Correct.
But it's a great way for them to like winter more and to have just more things to do without being costly.
Right.
So your center, I haven't been there, but I intend to be there. Tell me what you have down there, because I'm fascinated. And Eastman is not that far away, and people up here might like to know what's there if they don't already.
Sure. Eastman is a private community down in Grantham, New Hampshire. We're just off exit 13 of I-89. But we operate an 18-hole golf course in the summertime, but that transforms into our cross-country center, the base for our cross-country center in the wintertime.
Right.
Both facilities are open to the public. We maintain 36 kilometers of groomed trails for skate and track skiing.
That's a lot.
In addition to this separate snowshoe area that is another 5 kilometers, say. We offer full-service rentals. We do lessons down there.
Nice.
We have
The
a staff that's PSIA certified, so we can give lessons as well. But rentals are available. There's great skiing, and we kind of take pride in the fact that our groomers do a really good job down there.
Well, and that's important. They have to. I mean, it's important that they do it. People know good quality when they're on it. They can't skate on certain areas. They can't on certain surfaces, and cross-country needs a certain... So that they're as adept at that as they are, as the same crew that does the golf course?
No, it's our maintenance staff,
Okay.
our summer maintenance, and we have a gentleman who oversees a crew in the wintertime.
Excellent.
The winter crew does come with a little overlap from golf because there's, they're not working in the
Exactly.
wintertime, obviously. But
It's nice for them to have something to do.
correct.
So you're as busy in the winter almost as you are with the golf. I mean, if all things going well, you've got as much traffic, and maybe you don't, but is it a pretty
Yes.
popular spot? Are people
Yeah,
members?
of course, it's also open to the Eastman family,
course.
Eastman members. So between Eastman and the public, the cross country is
Yeah.
quite busy, especially on weekends.
It's a big active area we live in, and it's great to have something to give them, because that's partly why people join Eastman is the facilities.
Right.
A lot of
And
golfers
it's
right off the bat, but the lake, and
the lake and the
Does
winter
that-
activities as well.
when that freezes over, do you have skating?
We
that
have
ever been done?
adjacent to the cross country center up on the golf course, there is a small pond that we maintain for skating.
Okay.
The lake is a body of water that's owned by the state of New Hampshire, and we stay away from
Yeah, wise.
asking people or telling people that it's okay to skate on the lake.
You probably freeze the area where I've lost several balls. There's a wonderful body of water out there with a fountain, if I remember right.
Yeah,
And
that's our skating pond
I've definitely
in the winter.
missed the trip over it more than once. But that, again, is a wonderful facility. I think that is a great course. And so you have a lot of everything going on down there, which I love. We might as well give them all a plug, too, because it's, it's a great facility. And all of you can play on it on
Correct.
either season. And it's not private to that extent. Anyway, so you tell me, do you have goals for this Loppet? I've got to get used to saying Loppet because I've never said it
It's a new
before.
term.
I love it. I just had to figure it out.
As you probably know, a lot of people in Upper Valley know, David's House has started a new campaign because
Yes.
they're putting on an addition.
They're growing.
They're growing,
Again.
and they're growing because there is definitely a need.
There's always a need, unfortunately.
And I think a lot of the Upper Valley knows about David's House, but maybe doesn't feel the need for it because they're
Yeah.
close.
Right.
And it's such an asset to our community for those who may have to use David's House
Exactly.
unexpectedly. It's nothing you
Exactly.
plan on using,
No, not at
but
all.
it's there for those who need a warm place
Absolutely.
so they can be close to their children or child, in a
Yeah.
time of need. It's really tough for somebody to be 2 hours away, say living in northern New Hampshire or
Exactly.
southern New Hampshire for that matter,
Right.
or over in Rutland
Vermont,
area.
yeah.
And that's what David's House provides for those people while their children are receiving treatment.
Remarkable.
And the goal is to get people out there to support David's House. And my main thing to say about this is that of all the funds that are coming into David's House, I believe 5 to 10% are just from user fees. The remainder fee is just raised through donations.
Yeah,
So they need our help.
of course they do.
Eastman has always supported David's House for many years, and we're just trying to do something a little bit different
Good.
and get the community involved, the Upper Valley community,
Yep.
and the people who want David's House to be what it is and continue to be what it is.
And it's fun to have a winter activity. It isn't just a outdoor spring, summer kind of weather. It's people that like to be out in the winter, and they have a wonderful way to go spend another day than what they've already done, but make something really productive out of it too.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the David's House story because when they moved out of Hanover, we thought that was a giant building. And it was because they needed it. But all of a sudden, unfortunately, the need is there, but fortunately, there are people who are going to make it happen.
Right.
And that's right on site, right? It's just
That's right.
an
Yeah,
addition
they've
to
started
what's there.
construction already. I believe
many-
they're adding 4 more rooms,
Oh.
guest rooms.
We had a friend whose young son, recently a newly married son, came over here with a critically ill newborn from Meredith and got airlifted over here. And we lived in Etna, and we said, well, please come stay with us. He said, no, that's too far. And boy, that said a lot.
Yes.
It was nip and tuck for
Yeah.
several weeks, and we went in every day to see them, but they wouldn't come out and get a bed with us because they didn't want to be that. Just looked like 100 miles away.
Correct.
And that just showed you the beauty of being on the campus, so to speak. And it was just, they can't say enough about it. They support it big time when they can. And I think everyone out there knows David's House and the story behind it. And do you want to touch on that? Or
I
for
can a
any-
little.
For the one that might not know it yet?
I'm not the official spokesperson,
No,
but I'd be
I know
glad
you're
to.
not, but you know it well.
David's House just celebrated their, I believe, 25th year. I believe it started in 1986.
6 or 8. Yeah, something like that. It was
86.
just after we moved here.
And it was named in honor of David Sear.
Yep.
And David always wanted to know why the people, when he was receiving treatment for cancer, why the people didn't have a place to stay, and wanted them to have a place to stay, and actually said, why can't they come home with us, I
Yeah.
think, to his dad.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, after David's lost his battle with
Right.
cancer, Dick's previous to that had said, we're going to build a place.
Amen.
And the rummaging through the house produced the seed money that David had stashed
Yes.
away, the $300.78 that started
Think of that number.
what we're here today seeing, which is such a great facility.
And I remember someone, or Dick was referring in some talk I heard by him, that David was aware people were even sleeping in their cars.
Correct.
And he said, that's not okay.
Right.
In his childish language, that's not okay.
Right.
I want them to have a bed. And when you think of that, and we're so lucky, and if we live near here, we're near Hitchcock or APD, and people come from miles away to both Hitchcock and David's House, and you feel for them in that even if they wanted to stay in a hotel, they probably couldn't. I mean, it's costly to be around for a long-term
Correct.
vigil, so to speak. And this has just served so many, I think 12,000?
Over 12,000
Yeah.
visitors now.
That's incredible.
And
And they're all people who would have had to either commute or sleep in their car or pay costly motel and hotel.
unexpected costs.
Unexpected, that's the thing. You
yeah.
haven't budgeted for something like
Correct.
that.
I mean, you can have the health insurance and
Yeah.
everything else, and with today's costs, it's it's continuing to escalate. But
Exactly.
one thing that it doesn't pay for in a situation like this is
The family.
the family, and finding a place to spend the night.
Mom and Dad
so to
want to
speak.
be as close to a young child as they can be, and
Yes.
they can't all sleep in the rooms, and it's just been a godsend. But what you're doing is fun, and I think people love to have fun while they're raising money. I mean, instead of just writing a check, go be involved and get out there and meet other people who think you the way you do.
Right.
Same with the Prouty, same with the things that have gone on for years here traditionally. I know there are people who will get onto this and stay with it as long as you keep go on at it.
We hope to make this a yearly event.
I think
This
it
is our
should
second
be.
year.
Second annual leads to third.
Correct.
But I think the fact that everyone can do it, every age, every skill, every piece of equipment that is winter oriented, on not except for downhill. Lord, knowing you and your enthusiasm, you'll probably find a hill too. You'll probably get a rope tow up the field at La Salette. I don't know, but there's some great hills and facilities around here. But I'm hoping that Eastman has as big a load of snow by then that as anyone can have, because you need that. And you
It's helpful.
It's helpful, and you really don't want to go anywhere else, even though you have wonderfully friendly neighbors and generous people who want to make it happen for you. You want it there. That's where you designed it, and you've got the facilities, and you're all ready to roll. I just may have to go down there that day. Well, that would be fun.
Well, we hope
I just may.
people will be enticed by this and think about, you know,
Yes.
I'd like to try that.
Yeah.
And it's we're asking people to become involved by. There's no fee to register for this event.
That's a big.
We ask people to support the David's House with a minimum amount in pledges towards your participating.
Okay.
And minimum by $50 in pledges for an adult, $15 for a child.
Yep.
And then we even have a family rate up to 3 children in a family of $125.
That's pretty doable. That's really fair.
And with all the resources, and you know, if you're uncomfortable with asking for people to support you, a $50 donation to David's House is money well spent.
Exactly, and I think to make it more doable financially is the answer, because you're going to get more volume of people, I would guess.
We hope so.
It doesn't prohibit too many people from at least just doing that one day.
It's less than the cost of an alpine ski
There you
ticket
go.
for a day. How's
Isn't
that
everything now?
sound? True.
I mean, that's become prohibitive in a lot of ways to a lot of people. I'd stopped doing it just because it was so crowded. I just was feeling very defensive going down the hill with boards coming over my skis. I just thought, wait a minute, I think I've just seen enough. This is more fun. I find it better for exercise, and I like to exercise. So, okay, so February 16th, 9 to noon is starting times.
We'll be there till 4 o'clock or later, though.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned previously, there is live entertainment. We've had numerous musical groups donate 1-hour sets. So we'll start entertainment at 11.
Oh, wonderful.
And they'll just be rotating in and out.
And those are all committed?
And they're all committed. A lot of local musicians
Love it.
coming in to play for the afternoon.
That's great exposure for them as well as
Yes.
good for the crowd. Now, I'm sure there's food.
And there's food. We're having food donated. So
really?
there'll be hot chili and pizza for the kids.
Chili.
Hot coffee, beverages.
Love it.
Plenty to keep the tummies warm and happy.
And the nice thing is, and funny thing is, you think you're going to need all that warm stuff. Sometimes when you're out snowshoeing and cross country, you come in overheated. I find I need layers, and they're mostly gone by the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, especially if you got a nice day.
Exactly.
Right.
Just come prepared with layers, because if you do either one of these, you probably know already that you'll shed at least half of what you're wearing to start with on a nice day. But it's also a fun way for the whole community to see what is down there. I mean, we're always looking for new trails and new trailheads and outlets. You have a lot to choose from for people that are on skis or snowshoes, and it's another way to get, there's another place that isn't too far away.
That's right. Very short distance down to Eastman, exit 13. Just take a left when you get off the ramp, and we're the first right. And just follow the signage into the cross-country
it.
sign.
Even I have found it.
Just see that big American flag next to the interstate, and you're all set.
But it's nice to know for people who haven't been there, they get another glimpse of it. And you'll have to imagine the golf end of it. But if you're out on the flat doing any skiing, you're on one of the holes.
Correct.
But it's nice for people, and myself included, to find a new venue. We do a lot of the same ones, and then we forget to branch out. And this is one that I would like to find out about, because I'll try to get a couple of my snowshoe buddies to join in with me. And
love to have you.
It would be a great way to support a fabulous cause. But also, we love to snowshoe, and it's a nice, I don't know if they've been there. I know I haven't. So, are you going to be on skis, or are you too busy running it?
I'm planning. I've got my name on the David's House website. I'm signed up, and I'm collecting pledges.
Good.
And I plan to be there to get my Ks in on skis that day, but also make sure everything's going smoothly.
Excellent. So that's that's good to know, because you can get both done while even running it essentially, but you've probably got some good help.
We do.
You have a
We have a
good-
lot of volunteers.
Good.
So in light of that, there are some people who say, I can't ski and I have a hard time in the snow.
Right.
We're always looking for volunteers.
Yeah.
And they
What
can,
kinds of jobs would you be looking for? That may be something other people would want to know.
well, we could use some bakers.
Yeah.
We always, cookies are always a sweet spot for
Amen.
everybody. We're looking for cookie bakers, but we also will need help with registration,
Yep.
checking people in.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it. You can register online, but you can also register by paper.
Day of. Good.
Or with paper. And the registration forms are on the website, the David's House website, so you can pull them off of there if you want to do it that way. So we need help inside as well as outside.
Yeah.
Road crossings.
Oh, yeah.
To help people get across the roads and maintain some of the road crossings that are going to be busier than
Good.
others as
Yeah,
well.
and you would know those. So they can pay and register all at one trip down. They don't, if they haven't done it ahead, they're fine there the
Yep,
morning
or
of.
they can the morning of, or like I say, they can go online.
Right.
It's a secure website through David's House. People can make donations if you register online. They can make donations via credit card right to your registration,
Yep.
and you can you're able to have your own web page
Nice.
once you've signed up. So
Sort of Proudy style.
very similar to
Nice.
that. Yes,
It makes it so much nicer, and then you can go and just track what your pledges have yielded
correct.
and or requests for. But I'd love to do that. I think I'm going to start working on a couple of buddies to go down with me, because that's a great way to not only go do what you love to do, which is play in the snow, but you feel so much better when you see that new addition going on at David's house.
That's right.
Is it
That's
from
right.
the street you can see it, or is it on the other side?
Well, I would say the only times I've seen it is when I've gone into David's house. So it's on the side going towards the hospital.
Okay, so it's not quite as
Right
visible.
at the
but
main entrance.
just
to
drive in
David's
and take a
house.
peek, folks. But people would love to know what's happening. I'm sure I'm the last to know that it's being added to. But these are all ways we can help with that, folks. And I think that if you're a skier, cross country, or a snowshoer, I can't think of a better way to do something for other people than going down and doing something you love to do, but also turning in some money, because they need every penny. And they need it all year. Let's be honest. They need it not just Saturday the 16th, but they need it all year. Anytime randomly you feel like doing something nice, David's House is the place. But you're on the staff there, so what do you do? Lots of things, or are you in charge of one certain area?
I work for the Recreation Department in
Oh,
Eastman.
nice.
I am called the Special Events Coordinator.
Oh,
So I plan and special events for the Eastman community, as well as some public events
great.
that are usually within Eastman,
Yep.
but the public is invited to. The Proudy is, not the Proudy, but David's House
Yep.
event is one.
Yep.
We have an event this weekend on the Cross Country Center called Nordic Nibbles.
Oh,
It's a ski or snowshoe brunch on skis.
what a great idea.
So you would,
Is that for the members?
it's for the
Oh,
public.
That's a
You
great idea.
traverse a set of beginner type trails,
Yep.
and there are 6 separate stations, and local restaurants and vendors have come up with menu items that you get to nibble and taste as you go around
Hopefully
the
go
course.
to their restaurant for it more.
Correct,
Everybody wins in a case like that.
right.
There's a lot of shameless promoting we do of ourselves every now and then, but it isn't even shameless when it's people are getting it by choice. They're choosing to go and do that, and if they follow up, all the better for the restaurant. This is going to be fun.
We hope
It sounds
it's-
fun. At any age, all family members, all abilities, and snowshoe or cross country. And a lot of people are doing that these days. They've switched, or they're doing both, or all of
Correct.
it. So if you want to help a really wonderful cause, David's House, which we all know about, imagine yourself being out of town with a sick child and in the best facility around, but you don't live here. And it's very difficult to try and find a place to stay. And it's a lovely home. It's not just a place to stay. It's a really charming house.
It's warm.
It's
yeah.
warm, it's family, it's support, it's everything parents need at a time like that. And they've got people there to vent on and chat with and learn from, and it's all good. So remember this, February 16th, that's a Saturday, isn't it?
Correct.
9 to noon is the start times. You've got snowshoeing, skiing, and cross country. Any age, all family people, just come down and go down to Grantham. It's not far down. And Charlie will be there. He'll be glad to see you, and tell him you saw it on CATV. I can promote too.
Great.
Anyway, we hope you'll do this, and I'm delighted to have had this opportunity to find out more about you and it. And Loppet is my new word for the day, and I'm excited. I've known the word ever since we first communicated, but I love the fact that it's sort of something we all do all the time, but it has a real name.
Has some meaning.
It has a meaning. If it's in the dictionary, it's important. So anyway, please give it some thought, February 16th. Do you have a website or an email or anything you can give us that they could see on the screen?
I have the website for
Okay.
David's House
Okay.
where you can register.
Good.
And I also have my email if there are
Okay.
questions.
That would be great. Do you want to?
So
We can
the
either
David's
take them
House
and put-
website
Okay, do that one.
is
Yeah.
www.davids-house.org
Okay.
with a /Loppet,
Good. Loppet.
correct? And then my email is charlie@eastmannh.org.
That's simple. And we will put all of this on the screen so they won't have to remember it. Like, I'm always grateful when I don't have to remember anything.
You have time to write it down.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be on the screen lots of times during the show, so they will have it right in front of them and can get a pencil and paper. Well, I thank you. This is very enlightening, and I'm really glad to know what's going on, and you may just have found a new person to go do it. So
Well, that's what we're hoping
I'm
for. Thanks,
planning,
Judy.
I would love to do it. And so please remember that, folks, and February 16th, mark it on your calendar, and if you forget why you put it on there, just say Loppet and remind them that it's fun to say. Thank you, and we will see you all next time.